Michael Chandler does not believe Conor McGregor will be what he used to be due to his inactivity. Chandler says he's going to outclass and dominate Conor and plans on getting the finish.
What I need to work on for this fight is continue to be the best version of myself, maybe a little bit more tactical, realizing that I've earned this, realize that I am the better fighter, I am the tougher fighter, I am the guy who deserves it more, whether that be getting in his face, putting him up against the cage, picking him up, putting him down, wilting his spirit a little bit more, taking the wind out of his sails a little bit more. I don't need to be getting into a firefight with a guy who has got a bigger rifle than me, right? I think I hit harder than he does. I think I would venture to say his time out of the cage has lent itself to his timing not being what it used to be, his movement not being what it used to be, his reflexes not being what they used to be. He's being out of the cage now for, it'll be 3 years by the time we fight. So I'm just gonna, from the first exchange, hit him with big punches, make him second guess himself, keep my hands up a little bit more than I have in the past, pick him up, put him down if I want to, choke him if I want to, go out there and get the finish and just absolutely outclass and dominate him because I've deserved this and I've earned this.
Mike Tyson posts some new training footage. Tyson is preparing to box Jake Paul on July 20th. This past Friday, Jordan Burroughs was eliminated from the United States team trials. Jordan lost to Jason Knopf in the semifinals, and it could have been the final match of his career. This clip is going around social media of a fan taunting Jordan as he was walking out of the arena.
Hey, what have you done? Hey, break your seat. Hey, I'm a couple more beers.
Daniel Cormier reposted this clip on X. He wrote, "What a piece of trash this guy is. To go home to a guy who's represented our country the right way for 13 years. 7 world or Olympic titles is insane. This is why Armand punched that fan. People behave with no consequence. This dude possibly wrestled the last match of his career, and this is what you give him? I love how Manning jumped to his guy's defense. Sometimes I am so lost in the way people act. It's mind-boggling. JB, you're still the man. Time gets us all." Sean O'Malley believes with 2 more big wins in the UFC, he could eventually box Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I mean,
but 2 fights down the road, okay, say it happens. You turn Merab's nose sideways, kill him, boom.
Straight.
Piece up Ilya, 5-rounder.
Boom.
Then what? Is it possible? Is it possible for Ryan Garcia?
A boxing fight's possible, for sure.
MMA, no way in hell. I mean, no commission would even let that go.
The Sugar Show, why don't we do something a little special? Why can't we get him in the UFC with some kind of new, like a different rule or something where you guys
I'm not there yet. I still gotta become bigger. I gotta be
2 more though.
Yeah, exactly. 2 more sick performances, then we're talking about being able to do whatever the
maybe 2 more. I think that'd be perfect because your pay-per-view was top 5 all time in UFC sales. Gate, right? Like that's insane.
Yeah, that's good. But I also like that. I do think it was partly because of me, but also because UFC is just that big now. They grew 40% over COVID. So 2020 to 2024, they've grown however much more. UFC is just a rocket ship, whether I'm in it or not. I mean, but I feel like I could pull some numbs.
The relationship's so good with those higher ups. They love you. You're not it's not like
they told me you can do a box fight 100% if it makes us enough money. Like, so the option's there. Just has to be able to make enough money. But Ryan being a freak like that, you need 2 A sides to make a Floyd Conor fight. Like you know what I mean?
Deiveson Figueiredo wants to fight Dominick Cruz next. In a recent interview, Deiveson said people are pushing some names, but what I really want is to fulfill a dream of mine, which is to fight Dominick Cruz. It would be amazing to fight at UFC 303 in June. That depends on Cruz. If he signs the contract, I'm ready. I want to fight him, and I think he's a guy who could take me to a title shot. Kamaru, Usman, and Henry Cejudo debate how many fights Bo Nickal is from a UFC title.
10 fights? Relax. You know how long it takes to fight? Let's say you fight 2-3 times a year. 10 fights, Henry? That's another 3-4 years.
I think
definitely not 10 fights away. I think he's if he continues to grow in the pace that he's growing, I think in 2 years he's gonna be in that contender series. He's gonna be in that contender range for sure.
Okay. So in 2 years that could potentially be 6 fights. In 2 years,
I would say next 4 fights, he's there.
Really? Kamaru, I believe in the kid, but
we know it's moments. We know it's about those moments. He goes out there and like his last fight, not this last weekend, but the fight previously. He goes out there and gives you two more of those moments. Oh yeah, he's contender status for sure. Two or three of those moments, one of those ranked opponents, and he disposes of them first round with a huge knockout. Oh, he's definitely fast-tracked to the title for sure.
Yeah. Now, I just feel like, and we'll end it here with Bo Nickal, but Penn State is becoming that breeding ground now could Penn State become that breeding ground?
Penn State is not. When did Penn State become a breeding ground? They had one guy. Hey, we can't just go off the deep end and say, oh yeah, Penn State is a breeding ground for MMA. No, Penn State they possess a lot of great wrestlers. And if those wrestlers are brave enough to step into the world of mixed martial arts, there's a chance that they're going to have a lot of success. We can say that, but let's not go off the deep end here and say, oh, they're a breeding ground for MMA. No, they're a breeding ground for wrestlers and world championship caliber wrestlers.
But anyhow, let's move on, dude. Let's move on. The sky is the limit for Bo Nickal too. I mean, we saw the Hamza tweet. Hamza's kind of like, maybe you're not as good as I actually really thought you were. Maybe I will probably entertain that fight with Bo Nickal. You know, that could be a potential fight.
Yeah, I think that's a humongous fight.
Well, that'd be the easiest path to a guy like Bo Nickal to eventually, where he could potentially be a fight or two. If he goes against Hamza, let's say he beats Hamza, he's probably a fight away to 2 fights away from fighting for the belt.
100%.
You know? And Garry is still pushing for the fight against Colby Covington. As you guys know, recently the two had a back and forth on social media with video messages. Ian's trying to get Colby to fight him as the co-main event for UFC 303. He posted this to his Instagram today. In the caption he wrote, at Colby Covington, "Don't be a coward. Sign the contract."
It's Tuesday, the 23rd of April. It's 2:30. Everybody knows what my next fight is. Everybody knows what it is. There's no secret. All I'm waiting on, all we need, is Colby to sign the contract and say yes. Let's go, Colby. Can't talk all that and not back it up.
Alex Pereira rejects Magomed Ankalaev's call out to fight in Abu Dhabi. Magomed posted this to X after UFC 300. He wrote, at Alex Pereira versus me, Abu Dhabi. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Pereira went on to say, it's hard to answer that. I haven't thought too much about it yet. If it's a longer period of time, I'd obviously rather defend my belt. If it takes too long and I fight at heavyweight and there are injuries, when am I going to defend my belt? I don't want to hold up the division. I was imagining the best case scenario, but I have 2 broken toes. Both feet are It's complicated. I don't want to hold up the light heavyweight division. A cool scenario would have been fighting at heavyweight at UFC 301 and then giving the opportunity to someone to fight for the light heavyweight belt next. I think that would have been cool. I have to see what's best for me, but I'm not alone. I have my managers with me. I'm here. I'm like a gamecock. You put another rooster in front of me and I'm there to fight. And we will fight, you know, but we have to see what's best for me, my career, and my team. I'm open to fighting whoever, but I'm not the one who decides. On Magomed Ankalaev, Alex continued, I don't want to fight at the end of the year. I want to fight sooner, so maybe that shows he won't be ready. I don't know why he said that. This guy's complicated. Honestly, I have to see what's best. I'm here to fight, but I don't understand best about other things, like where is best to fight and where isn't. If I have to fight there, I will. But if it's not a date I want, then it's not best for me. I can say no. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Angry Dana White. It says, hey Full Mount MMA, Brendan Schaub was never my friend. The second one's from Peter Griffin. It says, you can hate on Schaub all you want, but what you can't do is laugh at one of his jokes. And the final one's from Double D Onage. It says, Schaub finally admitted he was wrong, and Dana gave him a $50K bonus. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.